The objective of this course section is to understand how the aggregate function works. But before we get to that, it's very important to understand how certain similar functions fall back in terms of its usage, right? So over here, we have a list of products and the sale values, and I've used the sum function to find out the total of sales across all the products. So I've just used the basic sum function here. So now let's say I have a requirement to find out the sum of sales for selected products. So let's say I want to filter it and I want to see the sale for specific set of products. So I'm selecting the first two products. So let me just move this aside. Okay, so I do not see the sum, right? So I only see the individual sale values and the sum is not visible. So how do we go around working this? Okay, so the first thing that we can do is, let me just get rid of this filter and I'm going to convert this into a table, right? So let me just convert this into a table. There we go. Fine. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to just repeat the sum function once again. Okay, perfect. So I got the sum value and now I'll try filtering it. Let's see if there's a change in the result. Okay. There is a difference in the sense that I get to see the sum value, but it is not based on the filter. So the sum value is not changing based on the filter. So the sum function alone is not helping us achieve what we are trying to do, right? So what we will do instead, we are going to use a different function called as the subtotal. So that is what is described over here. So the subtotal function basically takes two parameters. One is the function number and then is the range of values that you want to apply it on. So you have different aggregates that you can choose from. So you have starting from average until variance of a population. So it's in the alphabetical order and the sum is number 9. So now we have two different types of function numbers here which are important to understand. In most cases you will use either the single digit or the double digit options. But if you want to exclude any hidden values within your data set, then you can use the 3-digit option. So that is, if you have any hidden rows and you want to exclude them from your aggregates, then you can use the 3-digit function numbers. So let's see how we can put subtotal into use. So I'm just going to say subtotal and I'm going to apply the function number. So in this particular case, I want the sum. So I'm going to use the number 9, comma. Then it asks me for the reference. So that means where my data is. So I'm going to select that range, which is sale, right? So I'm going to press enter, execute the formula. I get exactly the same result, but I'm going to try and apply the filter now. Okay, I'm going to select two products just like how I did earlier, but there you go. Now you're seeing a filtered sum as well. So if your requirement is to see a filtered aggregate, then subtotal is your go-to function. Perfect. So you can see that the results are being displayed as per the filtered selection. Okay, cool. So it is not just the sum that you can apply it with. So you can use the other functions as well, which are listed here. So you can always go through these. If you go through the help section of the subtotal function, you can find a description of all of these and how they are to be used. But let's say now I want to use average. So there you go. So I'm getting the average sale value across all the products. So I can go in and again apply the filter over here and it will give you the filtered aggregate, right? So this is how the subtotal function has an edge over individual aggregate functions like sum, average, count, and so on and so forth, right? So as you would notice, all of these functions can also be used individually, but then the subtotal function gives us the extra edge.